Coffee stirrers. Today's video is all about using new materials that you might have never used before in crafting. Now, you could be an absolute rapscallion and abscond with these items from your local coffee store. However, I recommend you just go on Amazon and buy them for a couple bucks. Also, these little guys are a pain to texture. I tried to do it with a brush, but I ended up having to just use the kind of side of a X-Acto knife to get some texture on some of them so I could see if it really mattered in the final product. Now, obviously, in this project, I am duplicating Black Magic Craft's Medieval Hut speed build, but I'm also taking inspiration from Bardcraft using actual wood products and using the method of using the side of an X-Acto knife to get texture on wood, which is actually pretty efficient. I'm using mostly tacky glue for adhesion. Again, this is an item that I have not used much before. Now, after layering the planks and perhaps using way too much tacky glue, it started to bow up. The cardboard itself on the bottom of the roof bit actually started to just form a U, so I ended up having to put some heavy stuff on the roof bits to kind of lay them flat while they dried properly. Again, I'm assuming this probably happened because I used too much tacky glue too quickly. With less tacky glue and using a bit of regular paper for backing, I started to build up my door frame using stirring sticks for the actual door. And here you can see the exterior walls are made of dollar store foam core. And I don't have footage of putting up the extra foam core little supports on the outside of the walls or texturing. All I did was use some cheap clearance texture paint to kind of paint on the outside where the stucco will be, so nothing special there. Instead, here's a picture of a pizza that I made instead of that footage. Now we have all the parts assembled in a hut-like form. Frankly, you should probably do it like Black Magic Crafted, making the structure first instead of crafting all the outside bits and then putting it together. I did want to try a different method to my build, but I think it's much easier to actually just build the main structure first and then build on top of that. Now for the bit that caused me some confusion, the crossbars. Now, notably, a lot of the pictures that I saw of these crossbars, they're actually above the main support beam. So I assume these are actually mostly decorative, or either that or many of the modern interpretations of this building are just completely wrong. Either way, the way I kind of built up my original structure, it was much easier to put the crossbars above the main support beam, so that's what I ended up doing. So after putting up some coffee stirrers vertically on the outside and poking and prodding the main support beam until it looked somewhat okay, it still looked wonky, but after all, like, you're going to be looking at this thing from the outside, so it was fine. I was done. There's not much else I could really do to improve this build. And of course, everything came together okay with a nice base coat of Mod Podge mixed with very dark reddish brown paint. And yes, go to Black Magic Craft's channel if you are interested in finding out more about this technique. If you're using foam core like this, you pretty much have to do it in order to protect it and just make it a little bit more durable. I ended up giving this a 20-minute paint job, and by God, it turned out amazing. Check out that playlist in my painting streams playlist if you're interested in watching me paint this for 20 minutes and have it turn out pretty dang good. So this was a speed build and a speed paint. This is an excellent project for a beginner or somebody who is just interested in having a farm building for their campaign. Stirring sticks are a little bit finicky to try to overlap in a project like this, but you get used to it. And with tacky glue, a little dab will do you. And this was the first foam project I did where I did this super cartoony, large pen grain on the outside bits. Now, clearly, I couldn't do that with these stirring sticks because I had to kind of carve in little bits with my knife to get some texture on some of the planks. But on the outside foam bits, I just did the pen thing. I was a little bit nervous about it because I thought, well, this is going to just seem too big and weird. But no, in the final product, it looks fine. I mean, this is like a fantasy building. It's supposed to look a little bit cartoony. So there you have it. Experimenting with new materials is key to progressing as a crafter. If you have any questions about this build, please let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see that painting stream, I will also link that in the description.
have a great day, and as always, thank you for watching the video.